Good afternoon. My name is Angela Musalam. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Placer County Sheriff's Office. Before we begin, we'd like to remind everybody that we are limiting each reporter question down to 2 questions, please, for the interest of time. We really need to get our first responders back out to the search to fulfill their mission to help find Kiely. I'm joined today by multiple law enforcement agencies who we are assisting and who are assisting us. That includes the Nevada County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, the California Highway Patrol, and the Truckee Police Department. Our Placer County Sheriff's Lieutenant Josh Barnhart will be discussing the operational side of the investigation as it stands today.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to start with Kiely and her family and just say that we are continuing every effort and every lead possible to this point. We've been in communication with the family constantly, in-person meetings with them to ensure that they're receiving every bit of information possible. We've also been keeping up with trying to push out as much information as possible to the community, and we really thank the community for stepping up and helping law enforcement in this time. We've come together as a community here with our partners in Nevada County, the California Highway Patrol, the FBI, Truckee Police. The FBI at this point has dedicated almost 50 personnel to this search for Kiely. They are out actively searching, knocking on doors, going to businesses, recovering video. At this point, we've collected just a ton of information and video from gas stations, private businesses, private residences, ring cameras, etc. And so we're trying to decipher that information to make sure that we're picking up on any tips. Again, we'll refer the public to the tip line. Please, 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 if you have any further information for us, call that tip line and we'll follow it up. I'll open it up to any questions.
It's been now 5 days since she's been missing. What's the newest update that you can give us, and do you have any new leads at this time?
So we do not have any new leads, and that I can tell you is very frustrating for us. And so we'll reiterate that anyone that was at the party that night, please come to law enforcement. Please go to the tip line. It is anonymous if they want to remain anonymous. We can't urge enough that people that were there know something. If you know something, please say something, come forward about Kiely's disappearance.
Have a lot of kids turned in video from that night because they record everything these days?
Yes, there was a lot of video at the party. We've done a really good job of trying to collect that, as much of that as possible. That obviously takes time to review, hours and hours of time to review, but we're trying to narrow down the scope, and that if Kiely was seen in any of those videos, we are following up on it, yes.
We're going to continue on to the search and rescue portion of this investigation, which is one of the most important portions of the investigation. I'm going to introduce now Nevada County Sheriff's Office Captain Sam Brown.
Yeah, thank you everybody for coming out. I think to start off, I just want to emphasize that we're still in unified command with the Placer County Sheriff's Office, and we're trying to gather as much information as possible, and we're really thankful for our partners. Everybody's mentioned them before, and there's tons more agencies that aren't here present that are participating, especially in the search for Kiely. To date, we have about 3,000 man hours of searching that's gone on, and we're going to continue those search efforts going forward. We've had anything from air support, ground pounders, canines, UTVs, side-by-sides, boats, air support from the state, local, and even at times federal resources. And so there's been nothing held back resource-wise in an attempt to try to locate Kiely or any clues thereof. One thing innovative that the team came up with while we've been dealing with this is a way for the community, who has been extremely supportive and extremely interested in wanting to be participants in what's going on, and who are going out actively into the field and searching, our team was able to create a map that will allow folks in the community who are going out to track their tracks so that we can monitor and see those types of things and see if that adds some information. I'm not sure that this has ever been attempted before. We do have some concerns that it could shut down our system if too many people are logging on. So hopefully the folks that are logging on and uploading tracks are doing so justifiably and with good intention. Because if it doesn't work out, we would ultimately have to shut it down if it stops the progress or creates some problems. But those folks who have gone into the field or are going into the field on their own volition as citizens in the community, or folks who have come here to help out, there is a process that they can log on, gain access to the CalTopo app, and be able to submit tracks to our team who has some overhead and is able to review it and put that into our mapping process, but also allow us to keep going on with our professional searchers and the folks who are moving forward in business. Hopefully by tomorrow, we'll also have a system set up where folks who have gone out into the field already and maybe are using GPS and things of that nature to track their progress, will be able to upload that information and again, help us to supply with, are we in the right direction? Are we searching the right areas? Have we covered somewhere? Do we need to cover somewhere a little bit more thorough and what that looks like? And so it's more pieces to the puzzle. We're struggling with clues, and so searches aren't super successful if you don't have a direction of where to search. At this point, we have a point last seen, and we're expanding beyond that point last seen in a systematic way that hopefully is capturing right-of-ways and things that would make sense for somebody who is leaving the area. And we're doing the best that we can in an attempt to locate Kiely. Folks who have tips, again, I'll emphasize what was said by my partners. We need people to call into the tip line, provide information, and do a good job. We're extremely lucky here. We're in Nevada County right now. I know we're partnered with Placer County. I could probably say the same for their community as well, just because I've seen the folks that are coming here and it's a mixture. We're extremely lucky to have real positive, good community members that are coming together for the right reasons, and I think that's really important. We had some conversation earlier with local radio about what's going on in community and that there's some, what we'd maybe refer to as bad players on the internet providing bad information or antagonizing like certain things, and really I would just hope that people don't continue to do that, and that we're looking for how do we have the best progress and make some gains on this extremely difficult situation. And I know speaking for myself and for a lot of the folks on our team, it's tiring for law enforcement as well, and we want to be able to supply all the right answers, especially to the family, and it's hard to look somebody in the face and tell them you don't have those answers. So once again, I'd encourage the public, if people know something, say something, bring us forward some information, and until we get that, we're going to continue to go through clues and digital data and all those things to help move our search in the right way. And I believe we'll probably do some more Q&A at the end, but thank you.
Thank you. Ever since last evening, we've had a few developments that I'd like to point you in that direction. We'll be having a crew come out and bring out an easel containing several pictures that I will then discuss in detail. So if you look to my left, we have 3 photos. I'm going to start with the photo on the very right. That is the last photo of Kiely Rodni. She was seen just hours before she went to that party at the Prosser family campground, hours before her disappearance. This photo signifies exactly what she was wearing hours before her disappearance. You can see she's wearing not a black tank top, but a black bodysuit. She's also wearing a black studded belt, green Dickies pants, and black Vans shoes. This is what she was last seen wearing just hours before her disappearance. I'll point you to the first photo on the left. This is a photo that, this is a hoodie that was loaned to Kiely on the day that she disappeared. This item is of significance. We believe that Kiely was still in possession of this hoodie when she disappeared. And the photo in the middle is an actual photo of Kiely's vehicle. It's a 2013 silver Honda CR-V. We continue to investigate every single lead that comes to us. We continue to exhaust every lead. We urge the public to please, if anybody knows these 200 to 300 juveniles and young adults who are at the Prosser Family Campground between Friday evening and early Saturday morning, to please come forward. We have since set up an online tip line. That email is sheriff_investtips@placer.ca.gov. So if somebody is not comfortable calling anonymously, they can feel free to email us via our tip line. That is all the updates we have for today. We will make sure to continue to keep the community updated with the latest information possible on our social media accounts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you.
Shindy House 101.5. Where was this photo taking at? Where was that surveillance? Which
This-
location?
We are not releasing the location right now for investigative purposes, but it was a local business in Truckee at 6:08 p.m.
And the vehicle, what is the age of that photo?
That is a photo from the winter of her vehicle, and that is the most accurate description of her vehicle.
Thank you.
You've received hundreds of tips from the public. Within those hundreds of tips, no one has said that they've seen her leave the party.
To our knowledge currently, no.
Do we know the last person to have seen her? I heard that somebody saw her around 12:40. Do we know who she was with, what her state of mind was?
Our-
In the very last appearance of her?
Yeah, so our detectives are continuing to follow up on those leads. We don't have any solid answers right now. We are continuing to investigate that. Thank you.
A dog team was sent out this morning. Why today, and will you continue to send that team out in the future?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, dog teams were sent out, but I believe they were also sent out on previous days as well. We're just exhausting any types of options, and there's various types of dogs, tracking dogs, evidence dogs, and unfortunately, in the needs of these things, we send out cadaver dogs as well to just cover all bases, because we're not putting anything off of the table. I didn't mention it earlier, but we have swimmers in the water literally looking for evidence and things like that on locations that we think might have something. And we're trying everything that we can. So there are human beings in the water swimming and coming back trying to provide intel based off of what they can see in the water as well. And so far still no clues that are ending up from those.
And so those divers and swimmers will continue in the next few days to your knowledge?
Yeah, as long as we have a reason to believe that we're using that resource for the right way and with some purpose.
You said the searches have been unsuccessful. What's your new tactic moving forward?
I wouldn't say that they're unsuccessful. Anytime you're searching an area and you don't find something, you also are clearing an area that may not have something, so it's still purposeful.
Was sonar used in the lake at all in the search?
Yes.
It's mentioned that there's video of, within businesses that captured images of her. What exactly was captured? Was it her vehicle passing by? What did those cameras capture?
So the only known lead that we have currently is that photo right there up on the easel. This photo shows Kiely at a local business in Truckee hours before she disappeared, and that is the only solid piece of evidence that we have been able to find. Actually, it was a detective with the Truckee Police Department who was able to obtain that video.
Her house is pretty remote. How extensively has the road out to her house been searched and the area off that?
I'm going to have Captain Brown discuss that.
Yeah, the question was about how extensively has the road been searched, because it is pretty treacherous, if you would. It's been flown with hours and hours of helicopter. It's been driven with dirt bikes, patrol vehicles, you name it. We probably put it on the road, and today they're extensively, I believe, still working on a ground search through the same area.
Do you have reason to believe that she's no longer in the
Ma'am?
state?
I think we kept you at 3 questions. We're going to move on. Sorry, my last one. Does this mean to think that at this moment you don't believe she ever went home, or she never went down that route? You believe she went somewhere else, or she never made it home?
We don't know. We're trying to find out exactly what happened, and at this point, we believe that someone knows, someone saw her, but they're not coming forward. So Again, we urge people to come forward. Again, we'll reiterate that we're not concerned about what was happening out at the party. Our only concern is to get Kiely back.
Now, you guys mentioned that the hoodie that's sitting right there was the hoodie that was loaned to her. By any chance, did that person that loaned her the hoodie see her before she went missing, or is there any other?
There's nothing in our investigation that has pointed to that. Mhm.
Her best friend said before that she was the last person to speak with her. Has that been confirmed?
We continue to investigate and interview the people who last saw her to try and get more information. But so far, nothing has been able to lead us to Kiely.
The hoodie, is that believed to be what she's wearing? Is that what?
We can't confirm that. We just know that the hoodie was in her possession the day that she went missing. She was loaned that hoodie, yes.
Is there any way to track her phone?
Her phone has actually been turned off shortly after 12:30 a.m. Saturday morning, and it has been off this whole time. Any more questions? Thank you so much.